Hey everyone, it's Nicole with Depressed to Success, and right now I'm just going to show you guys how I'm preparing my spaghetti squash for my meal prep this week. I've already done 2 of the 3, so I'm just going to show you how I do this. I found this trick on, I don't know, probably YouTube or Instagram or something, to make it a little bit easier to cut these, because they're not the easiest things to cut. So you make one end flat, so I just take a knife, kind of get it in there a little bit, and I'll use a towel to push down to really get a good grip and just cut off the tip like that. And then that allows you to stand the squash up, and then that way you can get started at the top here using your towel again on the blade end. Just push down through. And voila, your spaghetti squash is cut in half. So the next thing I do is you need to basically gut them out. So you need to scrape out the seeds and the inside. So I just take a spoon, scrape them out. Don't scrape too hard, because you'll start to get into the meat of your spaghetti squash. You don't want to lose too much of it. See one over here. Right, turn that way. All right. So that's what they look like. Trash can out of the way. All right. So the next step for me, what I like to do is I'm going to take my baking sheet and spray it with my favorite thing, the baking spray pan, which is like the flour-based one. That way nothing sticks to it. Get a nice little coat going on it. And then we're going to put that one away. I like to just use salt, pepper, and some granulated garlic on my spaghetti squash. And I'm pairing this with the mini turkey meatloafs that my husband and I are going to be making later on. So I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil just over my sink, spray it. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do on my cutting board to try and keep the mess down, but you're cooking. It's really hard to do that sometimes. Just take my salt, and pepper, and a little bit of granulated garlic. You can use whatever spices you like. Like I said, I just like using salt, pepper, garlic. Sometimes I'll use onion powder. You're gonna place them face down on your cookie sheet. My oven has been preheating to 350 degrees. I'm gonna start them at about 40 minutes and then check them and see if they are cooked. And we'll check them in 40 minutes. So while the squash is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and boil my eggs. For my breakfast this week, I'm gonna do hard-boiled eggs and turkey bacon, but I also bought some really great oven-roasted chicken, cold cuts, so that way if I run out of turkey bacon, I have cold cuts that I can put as an additional protein. And I also grabbed it to possibly mix it with or have it as a pair with my cottage cheese. So right now I'm just gonna put an 18 pack of brown eggs, because I have just found for myself that brown eggs peel easier. I'm just gonna put them in a big pot with some water on the stove And then I'm gonna turn on my griddle and start cooking up my turkey bacon. That way we're doing breakfast while my lunch and dinners are cooking. It's all about trying to do as many things together as possible. That way it helps save time and energy. All right, so our timer's going off for our spaghetti squash. We're gonna go ahead and check it and see if it's done or if it's gonna need a little more time. What I like to do is pull it out here, and then what you're gonna do is you can keep your mitt on if you want, kind of push on the top here. If you can indent it with your finger, then it's done. If it's still kind of a little hard and it needs a little more time, these bigger ones here are gonna need a little more time. So we're probably gonna put them in for maybe another 10 minutes, see where we're at. And keep in mind, the entire time that those were cooking, I cooked and packaged up 1.5 pounds of turkey bacon. I hard boiled and peeled 18 eggs, and I've kept up on the dishes. So meal prep doesn't have to literally stop everything that you're doing. You can multitask in between, obviously making sure you don't leave too far from the kitchen because you don't want to burn the place down. But, you know, like I pretty much prepped my breakfast stuff while my lunch stuff was cooking. So again, you know, meal prep can be super simple as long as, and you can do multiple things at the same time. So we'll give them another 10 and we'll check back, okay? All right, guys, our 10 minutes is up. We're gonna go ahead and check them again. Ooh, that oven's hot. All right, let's take a look. See what we've got. Okay. Oh yeah, so now I can kind of push my finger in. Ooh, it's hot though. So I know that they are finished. So just gonna let them sit here and cool for a little bit and chill out. Now let me grab a fork and I'll flip one over and you can see what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna use my trusty glove here. She gonna be hot. There, all right. Woo. So this is what it looks like when they're cooked. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna let them cool. You see that steam coming off? I'm gonna let them cool so they're a little easier to handle and touch. And we're just gonna scoop the inside out. I'm gonna put them in a container overnight because tomorrow is when we're actually cooking all of the turkey stuff and everything, just because we got a late start today. So my cooking is gonna be a 2-day thing, which that's okay. If you only have time during the day to do half of your meal prep and then the next day do the rest, that's all right. Today we just did some shopping and spent some time together, so we got a later start. So I will show you the scooping when they are cool. All right, so they are fully cooled where you can actually handle them. So what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and get the spaghetti squash out. So you just grab a fork and you just go right along. As you can see here, just go right along the line there. And I'm just gonna put her on in to a container. And as you can see, it looks a lot just like spaghetti, hence the name, spaghetti squash. So super simple, super easy, really low calorie, really full of fiber. So it's a really awesome option to have instead of pasta. Hey guys, Nicole again with the Press to Success, and what I'm going to cook now, or show you what I'm going to put together for my meal prep, are turkey mini meatloaves. These are super easy to make. You can do meatballs if you wanted to, but today I just wanted to do something a little different. So first things first, I'm going to spray my little pan. Again, my favorite spray, the baker's spray. I'm gonna spray my non-stick pan. Even though it's a non-stick pan, I still spray it. I'm gonna spray it so that nothing sticks. That is nice and coated. I'm gonna go ahead and put my second glove on. I'm using gloves mainly because I'm gonna be touching turkey, and instead of having it stick to my fingers and stuff, it just makes it a whole lot easier. I just get these at Walmart, or you can get them on Amazon or at Sam's Club or whatever. So I'm using a 93.7 ground turkey. I'm just gonna do, I'm using 3 pounds because I am hoping to be able to eat these all week. So I'm using 3 pounds worth. You wouldn't have to if you are looking to just make a few. You can also just do a regular meatloaf in a bread pan if you wanted to. I just think it's super cute with the convenience of the little mini loaf or mini pan thing. So I'm just gonna kind of mix this together, okay? And then I'm gonna wash my hands, or wash my gloves really. And for seasoning, I'm using Fire and Smoke Society, the usual. I mixed this Chicka Bam chicken or whatever. There was only a little bit left in this bottle, so I mixed it in with this. That's kind of how I roll when it comes to seasonings. I just kind of mix stuff together. So I'm gonna put some seasoning in here. Just a little bit of breadcrumbs. I'm not really measuring these out because there's not a whole lot. It's just a little bit just to kind of bind it together. So maybe a 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup max. And then I like to add Rotel tomatoes, or tomatoes, cilantro, the whole kabang into my mixture. And then last, we're gonna add just 1 egg. And we're just gonna mix this all together. I use an ice cream scoop to scoop them out. So you're just gonna kind of scoop it, kind of put it in your hand, roll it up a little bit, put it in there. And we're just gonna keep going. So now I'm just going to kind of push it in there. And if I see one that looks like it's a little light, just add a little more. All right, I'm gonna take our gloves off. I've got the oven preheated to 375. We're gonna put them in the oven for about 20 minutes and then see where they are. I am also going to take my spice and I'm just going to sprinkle a little more on the top here. Because I am all about spice. The other thing you can do is if you had a sugar-free barbecue sauce or a low-calorie barbecue sauce, you could brush the top with barbecue sauce if you wanted to. I don't want to because I'm going to use my G. Hughes sauces that I bought the other day at the store. I'm going to use those in my dishes. All right, so it's time to take these out of the oven and go ahead and check them and see if they are cooked. Ooh, they look delicious. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just take a toothpick and I'm gonna pierce the middle of a few of them, make sure it comes out clean. And it is perfect. All right. So this is what they're gonna look like when they come out. It's almost like they kind of look like meatballs. They kind of look like little mini loaves. You know, it's just something a little fun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let them cool a little bit, and then I'm gonna pull out my meal prep containers, grab my spaghetti squash out of the refrigerator that we cooked last night. Again, I'm doing this in a 2-part session this week just because we had so much going on. And then we're gonna start weighing and measuring, and then we will be done for the day and we'll have our meals for the week. Okay guys, so they are cooled and I have my spaghetti squash that I made from the other night. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to measure 155 grams of spaghetti squash, And so I have my scale. So I have my scale right here. Sorry. Got my scale. So you're just gonna put your container on there, get it zeroed out, and then you're going to go ahead and just add 155 grams, or this is what I'm doing, is adding 155 grams of spaghetti squash. And then I'm just gonna put 2 of the turkey meatloafs in there. You don't really realize how much 155 grams of spaghetti squash is until you actually measure it out. It's quite a lot. And then I'm going to clear it out, change my unit to ounces, and then put 1 meatloaf in. That one's about 2.5. And then a second one, that comes to about 4.9, so about 5 ounces. My dishes are gonna be anywhere between 4 to 5 ounces. So that works just well. So we're just gonna keep on going. All right, so I have finished measuring and weighing everything. So again, it's 155 grams of spaghetti squash, and then I basically filled all of the containers with spaghetti squash and then went back, cleared out my scale, put it onto ounces, and then put in 2 of the mini meatloafs and tried to get them anywhere between 4.5 to 5 ounces. When I track it in my Fitness Pal, I'm actually gonna track it as 5 ounces of ground turkey just to be on the safe side, because nothing went over 5 ounces. There's a few containers that are a little bit below that, but just because I wanna be cautious and make sure that I'm not under calculating my calories, I'd rather just put in 5 ounces, even if it was only 4.5 or 4.7. So these are what they look like. And then I'm just, every day, I'm gonna grab one of the sauces from G. Hughes and drizzle it on the top. And that way every day it'll be a little bit of a different flavor. So this is what it looks like, and this is what I'm having this week for meal prep.
Thank you for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more videos on this channel. And as always, that has been NicSen. This is the editor, Daxon, from Depressed to Success. We will see you next time. Take care.